Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're taking a little trip down the grocery aisle to look at something pretty wild. We're going to dissect the highly calculated and, frankly, kind of deceptive world of food marketing. Specifically, the whole illusion behind zero cholesterol labels.
Okay, let's dive into this. Does a giant, glowing 0 mg cholesterol badge plastered on the front of a box actually mean it's a healthy choice? Well, it's kind of the ultimate mystery of the grocery aisle, isn't it? We're so conditioned to see the word zero next to a scary word like cholesterol, and we just immediately assume, oh, awesome, green light for my health. But as we're going to see today, that little badge is also a very carefully constructed illusion. It's basically designed to make you stop reading right there.
Section 1. The zero cholesterol illusion.
You see, food packaging isn't just a box holding your snacks. It is highly optimized real estate, and it's built to grab your attention and, well, distract you. Eng from our source material actually hits the nail on the head here. When a product draws attention to 0 milligrams of cholesterol, treat this as a deliberate marketing choice. Basically, these manufacturers want you laser focused on that one shiny positive trait. Why? So you totally ignore the massive amounts of sugar, the sky-high sodium, or the saturated fats hiding on the back. It's literally the classic magician's trick, pure misdirection.
Which brings us to Section 2, the truth about cholesterol. All right, get ready to have a myth completely shattered. The cholesterol we actually eat, it is not the main driver of the cholesterol in our blood. Not even close. Actually, about 75% of your blood cholesterol is pumped out by your own liver, driven mostly by your internal metabolism. Only about 25% comes from your dietary intake. So right off the bat, this proves that the dietary cholesterol these food labels are bragging about avoiding, it actually has a way smaller impact on your overall numbers than you'd think. The real kicker here, the absolutely crucial takeaway, is that saturated and trans fats impact your blood cholesterol vastly more than the actual dietary cholesterol you eat. Now, sure, our source notes that some folks are just naturally more sensitive to dietary cholesterol, but for the vast majority of us, we're taking way more damage from saturated and trans fats. So a label screaming zero dietary cholesterol is essentially bragging about removing a minor factor, while potentially leaving the actual metabolic culprits completely unchecked. Crazy, right? All right, moving on to Section 3, the serving size trap. So mentally flip that box over with me and let's check out the nutrition facts, because this is where the next trap is waiting. A manufacturer might list a serving size as 1 single teaspoon. I mean, come on. Unless you're feeding a small family of ants, realistic consumption for a normal human is easily 3, 4, maybe 5 of those servings at once. They create these absurdly tiny portion sizes just to make the math on the nutritional panel look totally harmless. So the crucial point is, when you eat what feels like a totally normal portion, you aren't just eating one serving. You are multiplying it. And multiplying the serving size means you're secretly multiplying the total energy, the fat, and the sugar you're actually putting into your body. Suddenly, that innocent little 0 mg front label turns into a total metabolic nightmare once you've had 3 or 4 teaspoons. It completely bypasses whatever healthy feeling you had when you threw it in your cart.
Next up, Section 4, decoding hidden ingredients. And it's not just the portion sizes getting manipulated, it's the literal names of the ingredients. Take total sugars, for example. Seems straightforward enough, right? Nope. Total sugar claims can be incredibly misleading because they often mask complex carbs or sugar alcohols. Like our source points out, you really have to check the actual ingredient list for hidden sugars wearing clever disguises. You're looking for things like corn syrup or maltodextrin. They might keep the sugar number artificially low on the facts panel, but they're sneaking the exact same biological hit into your body through the fine print.
And this exact same disguise tactic happens with fats too. The total fat label? It often deliberately fails to break down the difference between saturated fats, which again have a severe high impact on your health, and unsaturated fats, like mono or polyfats, which actually act totally differently in the body. By just clumping the whole shebang together under one generic total fat banner, the manufacturer completely obscures the severe impact of the saturated ones. It makes it nearly impossible to know what kind of fat you're actually eating. Finally, let's look at Section 5, a better food policy. Because honestly, this entire system is exhausting. Having to bring a detective's magnifying glass to the grocery store just to buy a snack? It's a broken system. So, How do we fix this massive consumer deception at a macro level? Well, this brilliantly illustrates a potential solution. Imagine tossing out our current mess of confusing labels, those deceptive 0 mg claims and hidden sugars, and replacing it all with a proposed ABC grading system. Instead of squinting at microscopic text, a regulatory body just slaps a simple, standardized letter grade on the front, based on the holistic health profile of the food. The whole point of this grading system is empowering you to make quick, informed choices. You absolutely shouldn't need a science degree, a calculator, and half an hour free time just to figure out if your cereal is healthy or just wearing a really good disguise. A simple letter grade cuts right through all that marketing noise. It tells you exactly what you're putting into your body at a single glance. So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative thought to chew on next time you're doing a grocery run. Next time you see a giant 0 mg label glowing on the front of a package, don't ask yourself what it's giving you. Ask yourself, what are they trying to hide? Look past the illusion, flip the box over, check those serving sizes, hunt for the hidden ingredients, and take back control of your health. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.